Hi guys, so just a wee talk today on some basic stretching for people like me that tend to be stiff and need to be cautious and respect their body in their exploration. So if you just stand, have a wee shugle, make sure that you're not too stiff. First thing to do is to establish that you're going to lead movements with your eyes. And a great way of doing that is to start looking straight ahead at someone, imagine someone at the horizon point, the same height as you, looking at you. So pick a spot on the wall or in the distance if you're outside. And then imagine that with your eyes, you're drawing a line and that line goes up. And as you get to here, you'll notice your shoulders and neck want to support. And so you look behind you, not too far, don't make it stressful. And then again, leading with your eyes, draw a line back to the horizon point. And as you do that, your whole body, you'll let it adjust. It'll start to curve gently. As that line starts to come towards your feet, and your body will start to incline down. And once you get to about here, place your hands gently on your knees. And the key is not to stretch, but instead to first get comfortable. Now you'll notice I'm not trying to straighten my legs. I'm not trying to do anything particular other than be comfortable here. There's a little weight on my knees with the heel of my palms. Now I'm going to start straightening my legs gently as I look up. Keep my little weight in my knees. That gets my legs straight. Now I'm going to draw the line again with my eyes, and my whole body will adjust. And round about here, I'll notice that my arms want to relax, so let them. And now I'm looking behind me, between my legs, and I can put my hands a little bit further. Put a little bit of weight in, look up, look down, and let the movement of the muscles of my eyes guide the articulation of my neck. Now if you're quite stiff, it might be that you should be here. So let's just say that you're here. And you also want to establish a bit of freedom of movement and rotation. And you do that very easily by imagining that someone was asking you a question, you look over your left shoulder to see them. And then look ahead, and then look over your right shoulder. And as you do this, your body will get used to the position and relax. And you'll find that the weight in your arms, you want to let them bend. You go down a little further. And what's really nice is to make sure that you keep breathing. And the way you do that is to try and have your voice deep and resonant and have the exhale count backwards from 5. So 5, breathe in, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then relax. And walk down a little further. Now, if you're walking into discomfort and pain, you've went too far. So walk out of it. Again, being active with your eyes. If you look up, it'll be much easier for your body to coordinate. So the getting back up is smooth and natural. Now, if you're very stiff, that might not even be appropriate for you. So I'm going to do an exercise on the ground and just explain that as you're getting to the ground, you want to do it as if you were walking. So I'm walking my hands down my legs, and when they meet the floor, I walk them a little bit forward to make space for my knees. And once a little weight comes onto my hands, I'll start to come onto my toes, and I'll keep shuggling gently from side to side. And just try and put one knee down, and then the other knee. And you'll notice that all of the time I'm using my hands to place them where it's most comfortable so that I can most comfortably get here. And the reason for that is a lot of the times there are movements that we want to practice, and if we approach the position, the starting position, clumsily, we're not going to have fun and the exercise won't be effective. Now that I'm down here, I'm going to take my weight to the side. Now you notice as I do that, my hips go this way, and then I'm going to steer them the opposite direction and roll my body so that I'm now in this kind of a recumbent, relaxed crab position. And the best thing to do when you get here is simply nothing at all but to relax. And it's always great to help you relax if you're conscious of your breathing. So I'll breathe in gently and I'll count backwards from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, in order that I don't get stiff and try and reach for like a pike position and a deep stretch, I'm going to walk. And the walking pattern will be lead with the foot, and then the opposite hand, and then the foot, and the opposite hand. And this will have small effects on your centre of gravity and your spiral. And then as your legs start to straighten, you'll find that you'll achieve balance on your sitting bones. And over a period of time, when you get to this bent position, it won't be hard work. Once we get here, have an exploration. You can use the tools we used earlier, looking up. This engages your spine. You get a nice arch that way. Look down, let yourself slump, bring your hands forward. And then what's really good to do, rather than try to push into any resistance and feel that you're stretching, pad about with your hands, experiencing what it's like to shift your centre of gravity. Now, this might not be appropriate for everyone, but I want to show you where this can go. If you find that this position is comfortable, you can do some nice old-fashioned things, using the procedures above, finding the points, wait until your body relaxes, easing into the next point, wait till your body relaxes. If you can find your toes, draw circles with your toe, one at a time, and this will give you a nice gentle stretch which will be distributed across the entire arch of your body. So this is an arch from the palm of my hand to my heel through the foot. And I make a circle and I get this interesting stretch. You can do it 1 foot at a time. So there's a push-pull. This arm's pulling, this hand's pushing. You go in both directions, and it's all about being playful and finding out what your body can do comfortably today when you're patient with it. I'm just going to skip to the end here just to show you where this can go. So you can start to do things like this. And you can experience some nice rotations. And the more slowly you go, the more you're going to learn about what your body wants to do and where the points of balance are. And this can prepare you for all sorts of things like breakdancing and capoeira. In any sport or activity that's going to involve complex movement or possibly falling on the ground. So, I met some people in the park and I promised that I would explain an exercise I showed them because superficially it's complicated. But if you see it a few times and if I explain what I'm doing, then you can approach it yourself safely. So again, I walk to the ground, I walk my hands forward, there's now a little weight in my hands. I've made this square. Experiment in your body what feels nicest, and then simply take the weight and move it around in circles. I'm feeling the weight principally on this foot now, then this hand, then this hand, then this foot. You're shifting your centre of gravity, and this allows a rotation and natural movement. Now I'll go in the opposite direction, and I'll play around to where it feels most comfortable and appropriate today for me. Once you've established that, I'm going to quit the position for a moment, and I'm going to show you what my foot's going to do. So I've got a square here, and I'm going to transfer my weight to a square here. And my back foot is going to draw an arc, the smoothest, most beautiful arc I can manage, so that when I start to rotate, I'm going to find exactly the same distance over this side as I started on this side. And that's to do with the geometry of your body and letting things flow. So the back foot pushes gently, and you'll see there's a change in the pitch and the angle of my shoulders, so that my centre of gravity is in the middle of this triangle. That will make the foot now light. Point my toe, I draw that arc. I let my body adjust, I try and make my legs straight, and this gives me a nice stretch in my hips. Now this hand has become light because my centre of gravity is now in this triangle, and then I turn my palm, and this turning and rotating motion frees my body so as I can spin on my toes to get into this crab. And then when you get there, draw circles with your bum, backwards and forwards, zigzags, just to free it up and make yourself feel at home when you get here. Now, this hand is going to be made light by pushing my weight to the triangle made with these 3 points. I push my palm up and away, I draw an arc in the air. This foot starts to turn, I place my hand, then I sweep my leg as before, and that gets me to the next position. When you become confident, you can make the square smaller and see how you can maintain your centre of gravity in the middle of your base of support by keeping your hips high and learning how to make a crab, which is easy, and you can continue the movement and play around. And I don't want to go on too long, and I think I've covered what I promised. And I hope anyone watching gets something from that. When I post the video, I will include some links to the fantastic work of Kit Lachlan, who can also give you some great pointers, and any information that you find on his YouTube channel will be safe and you can trust, and he's not trying to sell you things you don't need. Happy practicing, guys. Thanks for your time.